Hi there, and welcome to the second episode of the Frasier Report on Entertainment Stop with James and Ben. And in this episode, we're going to discuss episode 2 of season 1, Space Quest.
It basically goes from episode 1 straight into episode 2 with like a two-parter.
Yeah, so it's kind of like part 2 of The Good Son, really. Starts out in the apartment.
In the morning, Frasier is yawning.
Yeah.
He's tired. He comes in. Daphne's already been up.
He's not tied his bathrobe.
No, she's cleaning. She's telling him that he's not a morning person.
Well, no, he's looking at her like he doesn't know who she is. Which I don't care how tired you are. If you've invited somebody to stay in your house, you're going to know who they are. What do? Go on a bender the night before.
Good morning, Dr. Crane. Not a morning person, are we? Well, never you mind. I am. Can't very well be a good healthcare provider if you're not up with the cock. I've already taken your father for his morning constitutional. Such a remarkable man. 30 years on the police force. I can understand why you'd want him to live here, although not many sons would do that, not without getting paid for it. Anyway, coffee's made and I took the liberty of doing a shot. They don't serve much tripe in Seattle, do they?
And you are?
Daphne Moon.
I mean, that was my one major problem with the start of this episode. I just kept looking at it. Yeah, it was a good little thing to go, who the hell are you? Or whatever.
Well, she says that he's not a morning person, is he?
Oh, you're not a morning person.
Yeah, and then she goes, well, you can't well be a good healthcare provider if you're not with a cock.
Oh, with the cock. I like that. I use that phrase still today.
I want to be today. British people don't talk like that.
Well, I do.
It's a problem with American writers.
Well, they kind of project what they believe a British person would say. But you wonder why maybe she did have much to do with it. I'm not sure. She wasn't a very big actress at this point in time.
No, I thought she'd have said something.
But this is her big break. She probably just wanted to go with the flow.
So anyway, Frasier's tired and he's excited to get his crisp new newspaper. Mm-hmm. So he goes out into the hall and he comes back in, realises it's been read and starts shouting.
Yeah, he's a right prima donna, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to have his crisp newspaper, and his dad makes him breakfast, which is a really nice thing to have done, and yet all he does is fire it back in his face and complain about it because it's just...
All he has is yogurt and a bran muffin.
A low-fat, high-fibre breakfast with his coffee, and yet he's got bacon and eggs and some in a nest or something with Crane family speciality, and yet he's so ungrateful.
Oh, he's the most ungrateful person you'll ever know.
So this kind of kicks off the whole aggravation between Martin and Frasier again.
It does.
You know, as per usual, same as the last episode, they're still not getting on.
No, but I just assume this is like a day or two later.
Well, it's the day later, isn't it?
Since the last episode.
I think it's the day later because Daphne's moved in.
Daphne's moved in, you know, she's ensconced now.
She's fully into this.
So Frasier, after being so aggravated about his newspaper, sits the family down and explains the fact that he needs his coffee and he needs his, high fiber low breakfast. And then he goes, well, like ripples in a pond. Yeah. Many people suffer if I don't get these things.
It is the magic that is me. And I just kept thinking, what an arsehole.
You're going to give a speech, aren't you?
Oh, that's right. I forgot. You're psychic.
Yes, but to think anyone could feel this one coming on.
Let us get something clear. I am not a morning person. I have to ease into my day slowly. First, I have my coffee. Sans eggshells or anything else one tends to pick out of the garbage. Then I have a low-fat, high-fiber breakfast. Finally, I sit down and read a crisp, new newspaper. If I am robbed of the richness of my morning routine, I cannot function. My radio show suffers, and like ripples in a pond, so do the many listeners that rely on my advice to help them through their troubled lives. I'm sorry if this may sound priggish, But I have grown comfortable with this part of myself. It is the magic that is me.
No wonder people can't get on with him. He's such he's insufferable.
So after this chat, nobody paid notice. Nobody takes notice.
Martin just goes back to doing what he was doing.
And
Daphne carries on.
And then, like in the last episode, Eddie, he gets a newspaper that's been read, and Eddie starts staring at him again.
Yeah. He wants him to go away.
Yes, and Martin just shouts from the kitchen, just ignore him.
Yeah.
And Frasier goes, I wasn't talking to you, I mean the dog.
Yeah, I was talking to the dog.
Yes.
It's a good line. That's a good line. I don't blame him, because Frasier is the worst person in the house at this point.
Well, yes, at this point. We go over to KCL, and he's speaking to Leonard, played by Christopher Reeves.
Yeah.
Reeves from Superman.
Superman fame.
So I was amazed at when I realised that they were doing.
Yeah, but at the start, I don't know if it carried on throughout the series, but every caller was like a famous cameo, weren't they?
And to get such an interesting person as Christopher Reeves, it was amazing to me.
What was he complaining? What was the subject?
Well, I think he had like something called agoraphobia, whatever that is. It's like, I think it's like he hadn't seen another person for
He had a
that.
fear of going out or
Yes.
something. Yeah, and Frasier was upset because he wasn't sticking to the theme of the show.
Because Frasier had decided, because he wanted to talk about people encroaching in space, he wanted to talk about intrusion.
Yeah, on his show.
Didn't get any of that.
Dr. Crane, we have Leonard from Everett on line 2.
Hello, Leonard. I'm listening.
Oh, hi, Dr. Crane. I'm a little nervous, but, well, here goes. Several years ago, I became afraid of large open spaces. Like, if I went to the mall, I'd break out in a cold sweat. I'd get so scared that I'd have to run home.
Yes, Leonard, and your comments on intrusion?
Nothing. It's just that now I'm afraid to go outside at all. I haven't seen another person in 8 months.
Well, Leonard, it sounds like you may have a very serious condition known as agoraphobia. But you're not alone.
But I am alone, Dr. Crane.
Listen, Leonard, I'm afraid your problem is too difficult to deal with in the time we have remaining, so if you'll just stay on the line, someone will give you the name of a qualified therapist.
Well, this is, again, people not really wanting to do what he wants to do.
When Leonard found out his problem, the first thing he said was, and your comment on intrusion is?
Oh, I don't have any.
So Leonard didn't have any, so he was...
But he didn't help Leonard. He just says, oh, your problem is too difficult to deal with, and we're out of time. We're out of time.
I might contact you. We'll get a hold of somebody off air.
Yeah. So this is my point about the show. They never help anybody. He never helps anyone on the actual show.
Well, especially the last 2 episodes.
Well, it very rarely helps anyone.
So then the show comes to an end, and Frasier's quite excited because he's got this book that he wants to read.
Oh, yeah.
And he's decided that the best place to read him is his radio booth.
I know. What was he... Why did he think he could just sit in the booth all day and read? How many booths do they have in KACL? They can't have that many. It's a local radio station.
I've only seen one.
Yeah. Well, he goes to read, and then we're introduced to Bulldog. Is Bulldog in this? Is this the first episode of Bulldog?
Yes, Bulldog. Well, it might have been in the first one, but I can't remember.
I can't remember.
I'm gonna say yes.
It was only last week that we
I
watched.
know. And so Bulldog comes in with all these symbols and whistles and
Yeah, that's basically Bulldog's show. It's just loud noises.
frightens Frasier half to death.
Yeah. To basically juxtapose against the quietness
Yes.
that he wanted.
So
Yeah.
he just basically makes a racket, and then Bulldog kicks off about losing things.
Who's done like a cell tape?
Yes, and
There it is.
he just finds that immediately.
Yeah, he kicks off, finds it, he's happy.
He's happy.
Then loses something else, kicks off, and then finds it and he's happy again. Doesn't apologise to anyone, just carries on. So you can see he's highly strung.
So yeah, that again playing on the fact that, as you said, you got to juxtapose, you've got the quietness and the loudness of Bulldog.
Hiya, Doc. How they hanging?
Bulldog, what are you doing here?
We lost transmitter link power in Studio C. I got to do my show from here. Hey, where the hell's my Cosell tape? Somebody stole my cassette tape! This stinks! This is total BS! This... Oh, here it is.
He has a conversation with Roz before this, who's talking about her love life
Yeah.
with somebody on the
yes,
phone.
with the big thing. Yes, and we realised at the end of this, it was her mother.
Yeah. And he can't believe that she talks to her mother like this, and it's important because, you know, she says that it takes years to build up a relationship, basically, to you know, which comes into it later, and that, you know, it didn't just happen overnight. Them having this sort of relationship together. So that he can't believe that they have that sort of relationship.
No, he's totally baffled by this, isn't it?
And because that's not the relationship he has with his dad.
Which again, as you say, it plays into the episode later.
Yeah, so it's little drops that they drop in there.
Yeah.
Little things that they drop in there that help you understand where the characters come from and think about their motivations and where the episode's going to move forward to. So it kind of all comes together in the end.
Yeah, so as I said, then we go back to Frasier's other apartment.
Yeah, his ridiculously expensive apartment. It's empty.
It's empty, and the excitement in his face is just
Well, he just reads. He decides to read his book. He creates his own space on the couch. He goes to get himself a glass of wine to relax, and then obviously Daphne and Martin come in.
And they're in the middle of Martin's in the middle of telling, or Daphne's in the middle of telling this joke, and Martin's got the big laugh on the planet.
But that's the Martin laugh that we grow to love.
So the elephant says, he's with me. Oh, Dr. Crane, you're home. We just got back from your father's physical therapy.
Oh, glory be. Oh, happy day. Not that I'm not delighted to see the two of you. It's just I'm in the middle of a very exciting chapter.
Oh, I understand. So why don't I pop into the kitchen and brew you up a nice pot of tea?
No, I've just poured myself a glass of wine, thank you.
I see.
And Fraser immediately, he was so excited, and then suddenly his calm was shattered.
Yeah, so that upsets him.
But what I love it wasn't it? Daphne decided that she would offer him to make a pot of tea to her book. And she realised that he'd poured into a glass of wine.
Oh, I see.
And she looks at him like he's some sort of...
Well, this is what I always think about.
Drunken.
I always think this about Frasier. Not just in this episode, but all the other ones. They're always drinking throughout the day.
Yeah.
Sherry here, glass of wine there. They're very casually drinking. Martin's always got a beer.
So as she says, she goes, oh, I see. She doesn't with that such an accusing.
Yeah, it's accusatory tone. Oh, I see.
And then what happens is Martin sits down and he's trying to be interested in what Fraser's reading.
Yeah, he takes an interest, but Fraser doesn't want him to.
All he wants is quiet.
And then he gets it, and it annoys him.
But before that, I think what I like is the fact he's really trying to take an interest in doing what we all do. Is it? And he goes, "That's a thick book."
Thick.
Yeah.
That's the way he says it.
And then as you say, all Fraser wants is quiet. So Martin's like quiet for like 30 seconds, and Fraser immediately like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, he even gets annoyed with him when he's quiet. He can't be noisy,
No.
he can't be quiet.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying, it's Frasier that's the unlikable character,
Yeah.
in my opinion,
It really
in
is.
this episode. Because nothing anybody does pleases him.
Nothing.
You know, he's just never happy unless he's by himself.
No, so this ends up causing again, like we've seen in the last episode, ends up causing an argument. So Fraser decides to storm out. So then we move on to Catherine at Bosa.
Yeah.
Where he's reading his book, you know, and Niall comes in and Fraser goes, "What fresh hell is this?"
It's not a very nice way to greet your brother.
Your brother.
Hello there, Frasier.
Oh, what fresh hell is this?
That's a nice way to greet your brother. Caffè latte, per piacere.
I'm sorry, Niles. It's just that I've been trying to read this book, and it seems no matter where I light, I get interrupted.
Oh, The Holotropic Mind by Stanislav Grof. I love his conclusion that a change in breathing patterns can induce alternate states of consciousness.
Great! Now you've ruined the ending.
And then Niles immediately tells him the ending of the book.
I go, oh, it's a good one. I particularly like the ending where he comes up with this theory, and which spoils the whole book, which again sends Frasier annoyed.
So then then Niles, being the one again that doesn't really want Martin, is trying to paper over what's going on. He's trying to tell Frasier. Frasier's trying to point out to Niles that he should have just moved Niles and Martin and Daphne into the wrong place. And Niles pointing out the fact that you can't just give up.
Well, he says that the whole reason that he wanted him to move into his apartment was to build a relationship. And he basically tells him that you can't build a relationship in such a short space of time. It takes time. Again, everyone keeps telling him that it takes time.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't just happen overnight.
But so
He's got to work at it.
So again, it was a very short conversation.
Yeah, the good thing is you see a bit of character work on Niles and how how up his own backside he is. He comes in and starts talking Italian to the
he ordered his coffee, and the waiter just goes and gets it, doesn't he?
Well, he says cafe latte at the end, so he knows what he's talking about. And then he brings it and he
cafe latte puppeteering.
and he thanks him in Italian.
Yes.
And Frasier just rolls his eyes.
Yes.
But this is, Niles changes over time, but the first season he's very much like this.
Yes.
You know, he's hofty and posh and thinks he's kind of above his own station, really. There's no reason for him to be like this, because, he was never brought up that way.
No. He married into money, he's totally in it.
He married into the money.
Yes.
Other than not having the money.
No, he sees himself as a rich guy, and it's just...
Well, he's kind of adopted the persona.
Yes.
And he is rich, he is wealthy, so, he's just kind of playing the part.
So yeah, as I said, they have that conversation, and Frasier gets up and leaves. So we head back to his apartment where there's furniture piled high with the doors.
Yes.
Which is weird to me because he comes in and Daphne wants to go and put all her furniture in storage because there was all Frasier's furniture in storage because there was no room when she put out. But my problem was he was thinking of something about 2 minutes ago.
I know.
He could have said, just hold on a minute.
Yeah, hold on. You're going. He doesn't say that. They call the local handyman.
Yeah. Who's got a funny eye, so she doesn't quite know which.
Yeah, which one? She says, which one is it of his eyes that's looking at me again? And he goes,
the brown one.
But it's it's the delivery of how he delivers the lines.
Yeah.
Kelsey Grammer, very, very deadpan. Not like in a excitable tone, but it just works for the character.
Yeah. So then after he sends Daphne off to the storage room for something she might have to get back out of storage after a while.
Well, he's not really. He's thinking about it. He's not made the decision yet.
He then bumps into to Martin coming out of the kitchen, and he's decided he wants to have a chat. And Martin's...
Well, his program's coming on. He says he needs to make it quick. He's got 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So he gets out a little egg timer.
Yeah.
And the idea is that they'll both divulge some sort of,
meaningful, gut-wrenching experience
to the other person.
Yes.
Yeah, and so they struggle to get going, and basically Martin says, "You go first, because it's your idea." After saying this is stupid.
Yeah.
It took 1 second.
That's our personal best.
1 second is our personal best. This is stupid. So they start again, and Frasier tells him about a time where he almost commits suicide after his, time with Lilith. And he says, "Now you go." And Martin starts telling him this story about, getting something in his eye.
When he was down in the basement,
Yeah.
looking for some photographs.
And he's like, that's the gut wrenching, heartfelt, information you wanted to depart to me.
And Martin goes,
"It hurt." It's a classic delivery from John Mahoney. So it's not working basically.
no.
And they have a big blowout.
And they start calling each other names. And Martin, I can't remember what phrase it is, but Martin goes, "I'll tell you what you are. Next time it goes off, I'll tell you later, from the program."
Yeah, he starts getting really into it, really into the row. He goes, "I'll tell you what you are," and then all you hear is ding.
Yeah.
He's like, "I'll tell you later."
It's from the program.
But that doesn't stop them.
No.
The row. Frasier says it's not working.
And he's thinking he's thinking it'd be better for Martin and Daphne just got their own place. But there's a problem. Martin decides he's not going.
Yeah, he's like, "There's only one problem. I'm not leaving."
Yeah.
And he's like, "You're not?" He's like, "No," because again, going back to that whole theme of relationships, it takes. He says to him, "Look, it takes years to build a relationship, not just a day."
Yeah.
But he's willing to try it if Frasier is. So again, it seems to me
Because he's saying a relationship takes a couple of years, not a couple of weeks, and Frasier goes, "What could seem like an eternity."
yeah, or it could feel like an eternity. Yeah. But that's something that Martin's willing to do.
What do you want to talk about? Well, the idea is for us to have a normal, honest conversation, just like two normal people, without getting on each other's nerves. Ready? Go.
This is stupid.
1 second, that's our personal best. Let us see if we can beat it. Ready? Go.
So how about those Seahawks?
No sports.
All right, no opera.
Agreed.
But what I do like is at the end of the episode, Frasier decides to really, get something going with that and ask him if he wants to be, but they got none, so Frasier's got a whole ass to them.
You better haul ass to the store because it closes in 10 minutes. Yeah, and that's kind of where it ends, isn't it?
Yes. And then over the top, over the credits, we've got the camera pulled out to see Frasier walked in the storage area reading his book.
With all his study furniture.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so what did you think of the episode?
I thought it was a good continuation of where they were. They didn't, what I did like, they didn't it wasn't the same, but it was just a nice continuation of where they left off.
Yeah, it was basically a two-parter with the good son.
Yes.
But Frasier's character gets even worse in the second episode to me than the first. He's even more insufferable.
Oh, he's horrible.
Yeah, and Martin becomes a bit more sufferable to me because he's trying. He's making him breakfast. He's living at the house. He's not doing much. He's trying to give him the quiet that he wants.
Yeah.
And it's all about Frasier and his problems with the whole thing.
Yeah.
And basically, he doesn't want to give it time.
No.
It seems, and he realizes at the end that he has to. So his character kind of goes through an arc throughout the episode.
Yes.
And he's not the most likable.
No. But he does. Thank God he gets more likable as the show goes on.
Yeah. Well, he's still priggish as the show goes on, but he's a likable snob. As opposed to what he is at the start of the series. And thankfully, the characters around him are likable. Even like Niles is a snob, but he's a likable snob, and he has good banter as the series goes on with Roz.
Definitely. It takes a while, but they do get it.
And it's just about, it takes a while to form the relationship. So it's not just takes a while to form the relationship for them in the show, but it takes a while for the show to form the relationship.
Well, what I do like about the Frasier in general is it takes its time. It's not like some shows where they're not getting home well in episode 1, or by the end of episode 1 they get on fine, and then they move on and there's nothing ever happens.
Yeah, it's a slow burner.
Yes.
they get there.
What would you give that episode out of 10?
Well, it's a tricky one. I enjoyed the pace of it. I thought the pace was good. I didn't enjoy Frasier's character very much, but that was the whole idea, though, for the show. For that episode to be like he was. I don't know. I'd maybe give it the characters aren't as fully evolved yet as they become later, so I'd maybe give it a 6.8.
Well, I was going to go a 6, so you're more generous than me.
I'm more generous than you.
In that one.
Maybe as I watch more episodes, I might bring that score down.
But I've got to reiterate that even decent episodes of Frasier is much better than most comedies you see today. So
yeah.
A 6 isn't that bad.
No, 6 is good. I think I'd be. There's not many programs I give a 6 to these days.
So up next week we've got dinner at 8, where Martin takes the boys to the timber mill.
To the timber mill.
Yes.
Oh yes. So let's see what it says. Frasier and Niles plan to improve their father's taste by taking him to a fancy restaurant. Rebounds on them when he takes them to his favourite place, a rustic steakhouse. Now, I've not seen this episode in what feels like years. So
it's a great episode, and I think you should all enjoy it.
Yeah. So thanks very much for listening. If you want to continue to listen to us chat about the episodes as we go through all the episodes within all the seasons of Frasier, then think about subscribing to the channel and ring the bell for notifications so that you're notified of any future videos like these.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye now.